Greetings and welcome to Make Programming Fun Again. My name is Karol Moroz, and in today's video I'm going to talk about gRPC integration in SvelteKit. In the previous two videos I have talked about the ASP.NET Core project setup, and more specifically in the previous video I talked about connecting the Entity Framework Core database to a gRPC service. And in this video I would like to start a new SvelteKit project and display some data fetched from the gRPC API. This video is mostly unedited, and this is not my field of expertise. I'm actually learning by doing. So if you're expecting high quality content, I suggest to go somewhere else. And the project we are going to be writing is going to be a rewrite of this website. And the reason we are working with this website is because I have been commissioned to rewrite this website until October. And in the SvelteKit part, we're going to be using this library. This is something I found the last time I've tried building something with gRPC. This is basically an NPM library that generates loaders and types based on protocol buffer definition files, and we're going to use it to generate our gRPC client. And I don't fully remember how it worked, but I remember that it did work. And I'm going to be referring to an earlier project which is currently not public on GitHub, but I can publish it later. And yes. And what is this? Okay, yes, I'm going to find something for it. Good. I remember this was pretty complicated, so bear with me. So in terms of this this project, you can download the existing source code from this repository. It's called Full Stack ASP.NET Courses, and I will also add a link in the description of this video. We are going to be putting everything in the same directory. I'm going to make this a monorepo. So I'm going to start by opening this project in the terminal. It's called courses in here. What is the Git status? Okay, no changes, great. So I'm going to call npx sv create, and I'm just going to call it courses web. Yes, I'm going to use SvelteKit minimal. I'm going to be using TypeScript. I'm going to add prettier. I'm going to add Tailwind CSS. What's Lucia? Oh no storybook. Okay, yeah, this should be enough. Do I want typography? Not for now. And we're going to be using PNPM. Okay, great. So now I can commit generate SvelteKit project, and I'm going to cd into this directory, and I'm going to run pnpm run dev, and we can see what happens. So now if I go to localhost 5173, we get this message, which means we are running in SvelteKit. Great. And I'm going to open this project in WebStorm, which is another JetBrains API. And it's inside of Rider projects, courses, and courses web. Trust all projects in courses folder, trust courses folder, okay. I think I could make the font smaller. Like, no, wait, what? Apply. Okay, great. So now let's see what we have in pages. Okay, so this is the home page, and I assume if I delete something in here, it's going to be applied in the browser, and that's the case. And I think there is also going to be something about loading data in here. So okay, so it looks like I can also add a file that's going to preload data from a backend. So I'm going to call it pluspage.ts. Don't ask again. And I'm going to import type page load from types like this, and then export const load page load equals params return. Okay, I'm just going to return some fake data for now. Do we have prettier? I want to run prettier on save, apply. So now, okay, we're getting prettier running on save. And also, does this come with a prettier RC? I don't want single quotes. I want all trailing commas. And this looks correct otherwise. So now I get trailing commas and double quotes. Great. So now inside of page Svelte, I can add this script part. Script lang equals TypeScript import type page props from types, like this. And why didn't I get prettier? I'm going to need automatic prettier configuration, and I'm also going to add this Svelte file. Okay. So now let data equals data page props equals props, like so. So now I'm going to display this data in the view itself. So now, as we can see, the data that I injected into this page in console load returns is passed to the view. Now let's see what happens if I make it async. Okay, this still works as an asynchronous function. And let's see if I also pass the params. Okay, so this means that async functions work, and this is good for us. I'm going to commit. Yeah. Okay, well, add data in pass props in page.ts. Okay, great. So now let's try and configure this gRPC configuration, this gRPC thing. Let's see. So this is this gRPC protoloader, npm add this. So now do we actually have this protoloader? Okay, yes, we have this program called protoloader gen types, and we're going to need to run it on this project. So I'm just going to copy this command for now, and in package.json I'm going to add this to package.json like so. And let's see, this out directory, yeah, we can call it something like source API proto, and then this is going to be courses, and then it's protos, and then it's everything with proto, right? Let's see, if you run npm run gRPC generate, what did we get? In API we got these JavaScript type, we got these TypeScript types. So now okay, so now it's complaining about not being able to find gRPC JS, which is fine because we have not installed it. And okay, and what does it complain about in here? Nothing. And here nothing. Okay, so this was easy. Let's go over this command again. So this is protoloader gen types, and we can try and look at the parameters we pass to it. So longs are going to be longs, which is 64-byte integers, are going to be coerced to strings. I don't know why. Oh, I think it's because 64-bit integer values cannot be safely represented in JavaScript, because JavaScript uses 64-bit floats. And yeah, so longs are going to be coerced to strings, enums are going to be coerced to strings. Output default values for emitted fields, what's one-offs. Output virtual one-off fields set to the present field's name. Okay, I have no idea what this means. Then the gRPC library is gRPC.js. The output directory, this is actually different in here. We set it to source API proto, and then this is the path to the protocol buffer files, which is in the ASP.NET project. So in case of this project, we have this SvelteKit project in courses web, and this is and the protocol buffer files are inside of this C# project. And this way we managed to generate some files, and I think we should also commit them at some point. But first, let's define the client. So I'm going to put this file on the right side, and I'm going to try and write something similar in here. So I'm going to add a new TypeScript file called client. Okay, import gRPC from gRPC.js, import courses wait, what is this boilerplate in here again? Okay, I'm going to first have to work with this. So import proto loader from gRPC proto loader, import type proto gRPC type from proto courses, okay, and then const proto path equals backpack. Okay, well, how many layers are these? One like this, maybe. It's one 1, 2, 3, okay, and then courses proto, and then courses.proto, like so. Const package definition equals proto loader load sync proto path, and then keep case is going to be true, defaults true, one-offs true, like so. Okay, and const proto descriptor equals gRPC load package definition as unknown as proto gRPC type. Okay, so at this point, okay, so this is some pretty long, this is a lot of boilerplate, and I have no idea what exactly this does, but I know that we need to use it to wire everything together. So export const courses API, we could just call like this, equals courses service maybe, equals proto descriptor courses API. Okay, so I call it courses API, not courses service. Okay. So usually these services in gRPC are named service, not API. I should probably rename it later on, but for now let's keep it like this. And this also means that since we are going to get a lot of boilerplate for every protocol buffer file we are going to build, and it doesn't really make sense to split the definition into multiple files, because it's just going to result in a bunch of files to work with. So if we need to split the API into multiple services, we're going to have to do it in a single file. Okay, so now we have this boilerplate set up, and now we can use this. We can use it to build a what was it exactly? A client, right? So import. We don't need to import it. We don't need to import the courses API because it's defined in the same file. Import promisify from util, and then class courses API client. Why did I write it like this? Okay, I think I remember why I wrote it like this. The reason I wrote it like this is because otherwise this would be pretty repetitive. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to just expose this RPC. I'm going to just expose this RPC function. So it's going to be private client constructor. This client equals new courses API, and I'm going to just hard code the address for now. I think it was 5227, and then gRPC credentials create insecure, whatever this means, and then public RPC, and then it's going to be name, which is key of type of this client. Okay, well, and it's going to be return promisify this client and name bind this client. Okay, and field can be read only, make field read only. Okay, so we have this RPC client, and now let's see if we can use it in here in page.ts. So import courses API client like this, and then let's see, const events equals await courses API client RPC. Wait, do I have to create an instance or what? Okay, well, it looks like I need to create an instance, so I'm just going to create a static instance instead. Equals new courses API client, like this. Public static instance, okay. So, and this means that I can call list events, right? Can I? Wait, is it not exported? Courses API client is a type, is it not? Okay, so I need to export it in here. And now, no. I want to export this courses API client from API client like this, right? And now, what can doing? We get RPC list events. Okay, well, later on we're going to see, wait, so await what if I made this public for now? So okay, I'm going to make it public for now. So So now courses API client instance client, and then it's going to be list events, and then what can we put in here? There are no params because there aren't any, right? And then we need to we would need to call permissified on it, right? Okay, well, so what is going to be the result of permissify? Okay, so now now if you buy this courses API instance client to it, what can we call it with? So okay, we can call it with this. We can call it with this, with a setting of this set to this, right? And then this second argument is going to be this. Okay, so this equals await this. This is very verbose, but let's see. Did we get, what was the error? Okay, no such file or directory. I think it's in here. I think it should be protos and not proto. Can we print process? What's process CWD? Okay, but I still don't know what the process CWD is, right? Where is this located actually? It's in courses protos, right? So if I'm, okay, let's assume we are running in the root directory of the project. So when, okay, so now we are getting a different error, and the error is that the server is not running. And the server is actually running, it's just that we are pointing to an invalid IP address. So now, what is the error? What is the error now? We are actually getting some data, right? Okay, I'm going to restart this server and let's see. What is the error now? Process is not defined. Okay, so this is because, but where? I'm not calling process anymore, am I? This is not great. I'm getting okay, Okay, I think this is because gRPC is running this somewhere. Where exactly? Do I have process in here? We do have process. So why is it not available in there? I'm just going to, for now this is still resulting in an error. So what does this console log Courses API client instance print? And why did we get an error message? Process is not defined. But who is actually calling gRPC client in here? Can we maybe initialize a new client in here instead of relying on an instance? And for example, like this, Course API client, and then public read only, like so. So now we are still getting an error. Call credentials. Oh my gosh. Where does this actually come from? You see, this is what I'm going to call a pretty bad framework. Can I somehow debug it? Like when I call it with Node.js, and then environment variables are going to come from mise, and then node parameters. Is there like an npm something? Command run tab, and then like this, apply, and then I can delete this, and let's see, apply, and then can I debug it? So I did get, I am getting, okay, at least I know I can create a, I know that I can create a client. And then did I get some So why am I getting these errors? This is so annoying. I'm going to search for this error somewhere online. Okay, so it seems like the reason it's happening is because this page is not supposed to be called page TS, it's supposed to be called page server TS, right? And now wait, so now if you want to load it on the server, okay, it's called page server load. So the reason, yeah, this makes sense. It was failing because I was running it in the browser. So now import type like this. So now I should be able to fetch something. So no, like this. Okay, so now I have a client or client list events, and then I'm going to permissify it, and then I'm going to call it with client like so, and nothing. Const events equals await this. So now I should be able to get some data, can I? Okay, so let's see if I connect it to the database and inserted something into the database. Query console, insert into events, like so. And I know I've done something similar in yesterday's video, but I did not store those seeds in anywhere. So yeah, let's just say now plus 1 interval 1 day, now plus interval 2 days, and then title n is going to be ABC XYZ false, now ABC XYZ now at time zone UTC, now at time zone UTC, call it, and now I don't want to debug it anymore. I'm going to remove this breakpoint, and now I got a new error. So what was the error now? Process code. Okay, well, I'm going to add another breakpoint in here, and so now calling it again. Yeah. So now what is in the events, we get so why is it not serializable? Okay, because it's using a long. Yeah, you know what, normally in this case we do something like JSON string, JSON parse JSON stringify events. So now, would this work? Yeah, I'm just going to run it normally. Okay, so now we do get the data, it's just that it's in a pretty useless format. And yeah, this is because these are timestamps. Okay, well, let's see what would actually happen. So for now, I'm just going to do it like this, and now let's see how we can handle these events. I'm going to look for like a proper solution for the next video, but for now, let's see. Do we actually know what type this is going to be? Okay. So what's data test events? Okay, and then the first one is going to be, okay, why is it any? It's going to be list events response output, right? Const events equals data test events. Let's see, does it work like this? Okay, and now the first one is going to be any, really? Okay, well, so now const starts at equals events starts at. So yeah, I'm just going to put to print it in here. So we have seconds and nanoseconds. So do we need those nanoseconds? Probably not. But let's see. New date. So seconds start at seconds. Log times 1000. Okay, so this looks almost like at least we know about these seconds part is actually a timestamp, but we're going to have to look into a way to deserialize it as an actual timestamp and not as this timestamp type. And I'm going to have to look into a proper solution for that. And for now, I'm just going to call it a day. If you have enjoyed watching me struggle with SvelteKit and this gRPC loader, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you did not, please leave me a comment maybe or whatever. And in the meantime, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye.